opening. I spent the beginning of my teens miserable, alienated and isolated, and I was sure I was the only one who felt this way. It wasn't an unreasonable thing for me to believe. I had no social group, no pocket of belonging. I had quit the drama club after its vice president, a short, jolly girl who wore patchouli and crushed velour, told me that our gentle kisses in the front seat of her mom's Chevy Suburban went against God's plan for her. Cut loose from the only tribe I'd known, I drifted. Too weird for the smart kids clique, and too diligent for the purple-haired rebels who smoked cigarettes behind the school gym during lunch. I began escaping to D.C. on weekends, boarding the metro at its last stop in the suburbs. A brief 8-lane highway dead-ended at the Shady Grove station's treeless parking lot, and when my parents dropped me off, I loved finding the waiting trains, behemoths idling on their lethal voltage rails. Their eventual lurch into motion felt exhilarating, like dropping off a cliff. Back at school, I ate my lunch alone in an empty hallway, then retreated to the school library where I napped in a corner between the books on feminism and the emergency exit. Just getting through each day was exhausting. I was desperate for something that might save me, or help me save myself. I first learned about Riot Grrrl in autumn 1992. I had just come home from another dispiriting day of 10th grade, and I was standing at the kitchen table, sorting through the mail, when an article in the new issue of Newsweek grabbed both my arms and shook me. The piece, titled Revolution Girl Style, opened with a scene of a girl standing up to a sexual harasser at school. "Don't touch me or my friends." It went on to describe a nationwide network of teen feminists who came together to support one another, fight back against harassing classmates, and talk about everything from tuning guitar strings to coming out of the closet. The girls, according to this piece, were sexy, assertive, and loud. Although I wasn't sexy and didn't particularly want to be, I remembered that for a while in elementary school, and intermittently since then, I had been assertive and loud. And I missed being that girl. I went over the whole piece twice, not even bothering to sit down. It said the Riot Grrrls had recently held a convention in Washington, D.C. Could this be true? There were girls in my area who might understand me. When my mother came home and perused the article, she remarked that the movement didn't seem like anything I would want to be involved in. I had never wanted anything more in my life. The Riot Grrrls were so near to me that I sometimes imagined I could smell their magenta hair dye. What if one of them went to my school? In the pre-internet age, though, my search turned up only dead ends. Throughout 10th and 11th grade, I scoured the Washington Post style section, studied the meetings classified ads in the city paper, looked under Riot Grrrl in the D.C. phone book, and checked the bulletin board of the feminist bookstore downtown where I had begun to camp out on weekends, going through Alison Bechdel and Luce Irigaray. I uncovered no leads. Still, the article had given me an idea. If I couldn't reach the Riot Grrrls, I would figure out how to be a feminist some other way. For a class project, I interviewed the National Organization for Women's chapter coordinator, who encouraged me to form a group at my high school. I did so immediately. The club attracted 12 members, and at least an equal number of antagonists who conveyed their disapproval by defacing our bulletin board displays. Feminism, the radical notion that women are people, became feminism, radical men pee, and shouting "dykes" through the door of our meeting room as they sprinted down the hall. Most of the club's members were wary of conflict, so we played it safe, delivering a series of morning announcements for Women's History Month, organizing a self-defense workshop, and posting a conciliatory, pleading bulletin board message that said merely, "Feminism. It's about choices." But these actions didn't come close.